My name is Brian Iacono. I'm from New Center, Maine, and it's a real privilege to be with you this afternoon to honor and recognize some outstanding people in our state and have a little celebration this afternoon. I'm a big history guy. I think it's important to know where we came from to understand how we got where we are. So let's start with a quick little history lesson, and I promise it's quick. It won't be too long for those of you who are not into history. So launched in 1987 under Governor McKernan's administration, the program has continued uninterrupted now for 40 years. The awards seek to inspire every Maine citizen to be active in civic life and follow in the footsteps of those who are recognized. Listen to this next line. Volunteers are the hidden muscle of community strength and resilience. I'm going to say it again because that really jumped out to me when we were going over this. Volunteers are the hidden muscle of community strength and resilience. The nominations, those of you here, come from volunteer program leaders, public and private agency leaders, and individuals who are simply grateful for your volunteer service. The celebration organized by the Maine Volunteer Foundation and Volunteer Maine, the State Service Commission. So the Maine Volunteer Foundation was established in statute as a private support organization for Volunteer Maine. You've probably heard that name. The foundation has been integral to the realization of many of Volunteer Maine's accomplishments over the years, especially events like the one we're at this afternoon, the Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism. A lot of people make this all happen. So we would like to ask board members of the Maine Volunteer Foundation and Volunteer Maine Commissioners to stand for a moment. So we can see who you are in the room. To each of you, thank you for your support and for being here this afternoon. You are a big part of why we're all here. Your presence here today and throughout the year, invaluable. Your dedication to recognizing the value of service is admirable. Also, a special thank you today to the members of the planning committee that got us literally here today. Luke Shorty, who you will meet today, Celeste Branham, Vicki Rustbolt, Nicole Pellins, Nicole Genzura, John Portella, Diane Lebson, and Mary Krebs. Thank you for putting together today for us. On behalf of Volunteer Maine and the Maine Volunteer Foundation, we'd also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, who are also a big part of getting us here today, for their generous support of the Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism. The Jenny and Chris Coyne Family Fund, the Bangor Daily News for their in-kind donation, get this, of a full newspaper spread recognizing our roll of honor nominees. First National Bank, Bangor Savings Bank, Maine Credit Union League, Bath Savings Bank, Maine Beverage Association, Maine State Credit Union, Machias Savings Bank, Postal Workers Union of Maine, and we couldn't do it without Maine National Guard for hosting us in their beautiful facility once again this year. Each of those individuals and organizations understand the value of active volunteerism in our communities. Some of them supporters for a number of years running, some of them are new to the game, but they all have one thing in common, I should say one person in common, and that would be the relationship they have built with the Maine Volunteer Foundation president, John Portella. So one more note of history. The Maine Volunteer Foundation was founded in 2015, and it is the private nonprofit partner of Volunteer Maine, the State Service Commission, both committed to strengthening volunteer service in our communities throughout the state. John, who I just mentioned, has been the president of the Maine Volunteer Foundation for 2 terms. We'd like to invite him and Commissioner Celeste Branham to the stage for our first portion.
Good afternoon. We pause in this memorable celebration for a moment of reflection and recognition. On a day when we pay tribute to those who have acted on a grand scale to care for and lift up others, who have given of themselves selflessly to strengthen their communities, we wish to honor a man who particularly embodies these values of service. We are applauding John Portella today as he leaves the role of president of the Maine Volunteer Foundation Board, the support organization for Volunteer Maine, after 2 terms in that position. Though he will stay on the board, and unknown to John, we decided to seize this opportunity here and now to express our deepest gratitude publicly for his captaining of the ship with dedication and passion for the work, steering forward through occasional storms and also favorable winds. In his professional life, John was a shipbuilder at Bath Iron Works, a union leader, a labor negotiator. In his personal sphere, beyond the Maine Volunteer Foundation Board leadership, he was a long-serving commissioner of Volunteer Maine and its chair from 2016 to 2019. For over 25 years, he has been an active contributor to the United Way as board chair, campaign chair, Board of Governors member, and trustee at the local, national, and international levels. He is a stalwart community champion who embraces the notion that our limited time on this earth is best spent in service to others. It was Winston Churchill who so wisely instructed us, "You make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give." We recognize today the generous life John is living, enriching the existence of others and his own in the process. John Portella is quite simply a prince among men. Whether we rely on an ancient interpretation or a modern understanding of that phrase, the meaning remains the same. It does not change. A prince among men is one who exhibits integrity, kindness, virtue, and leadership. John manifests all those traits, often standing in the gap to make a difference through aid and advocacy. Some have suggested that volunteerism is an act of heroism, but many of us present here today believe it is less a matter of heroism and more a product of altruism, selfless acts of support and intentional assistance to better the lives of others. John is an altruistic actor. He has led without self-promotion, with a keen understanding of the challenges before him, and with a gift of bringing people along on the journey of committed public service. John, the Maine Commission for Community Service, and the Maine Volunteer Foundation Board extend our abiding appreciation for your patient hand upon the wheel of civic engagement, your faithful leadership, and your resolute shepherding of organizations that work for the public good, making yours a meaningful life by all that you have given. As the anonymous poet sang so sweetly, yours have been the silent beats behind great deeds, the unseen winds and hopeful seeds. We thank you, John.
If you haven't had a chance to spend even a few minutes with John, I highly recommend it before you leave today. He is everything and more that you just heard. So we're in great company this afternoon. You know the title of what today is. Unfortunately, the governor is unable to be with us in person. However, Major General Diane Dunn was most generous in offering to present our competitive awards, and we're grateful that she will be joining us today. That would be the governor. That's right. Just jumping the gun. We're very excited to hear from the governor. But the governor did send us a video message to share with all of you today.
Hello, this is Governor Janet Mills. Listen, when Governor Jock McKernan created Volunteer Maine, also known as the Maine Commission for Community Service, by executive order in March of 1994, he recognized Maine's, quote, long and proud heritage of civic participation and neighbor helping neighbor. A growing awareness that fostering that ethic of community service and volunteerism, he said, is a vital means of renewing community values, bridging cultural diversity, empowering youth and alienated minorities, and addressing otherwise unmet environmental, human, educational, and public safety needs, end quote. Since its creation, Volunteer Maine has harnessed the dedication of volunteers to make a difference across our state. Today we celebrate those volunteers who are continuing our proud history of civic participation. First, I want to recognize Androscoggin Bank as Outstanding Business Volunteer Program. Androscoggin Bank employees have contributed about 6,000 hours of volunteer work to nearly 200 nonprofit organizations. They've been serving meals, stocking pantries, and assisting with job applications, among other things. Second, I want to recognize Finding Our Voices for Outstanding Nonprofit Volunteer Program. Now, Finding Our Voices is out of Camden, but this is a statewide program of dental health. Since 2022, Finding Our Voices has run a program called Finding Our Smiles to provide dental care to restore the smiles of 55 different survivors of domestic abuse. One survivor described the experience as, quote, a phenomenal blessing, signifying validation, worthiness, closure, and hope. So important. Third, I want to recognize Ann Behnke of Lewiston as Maine Volunteer of the Year. For 40 years, Ann has provided a compassionate presence to people in hospice care through Andwell Hospice House. She's donated more than 300 hours of her time each year so that no one faces the end of their life alone. Thank you, Ann. Fourth, I want to recognize Nellie Young of Elliott, Maine as Young Maine Volunteer of the Year. Nellie has donated hundreds of hours of her time and talents from an early age, serving as president of the Interact Club at Marshwood High School, raising funds to support a nursery and a culinary school in Peru, and leading a team who refurbished a greenhouse to grow food for local retirement homes. Thank you, Nellie. And fifth, I want to recognize the regulars of Lincoln County. The regulars are our Outstanding Volunteer Team of the Year. The regulars have completed projects for more than 150 households, including building ramps and stairs and securing railings and replacing doors and windows, restoring doors damaged by water and wear so that their neighbors can stay safe and warm in the homes that they love. Well, when Governor McKernan created Volunteer Maine, he envisioned an organization that would bring neighbors together to address the unmet needs of their communities. I think you'd be as proud as I am to see all the ways that you have continued Maine's spirit of community service. So to the recipients of the 2026 Governor's Service and Volunteerism Awards, Androscoggin Bank, Finding Our Voices, Ann Behnke, Nellie Young, and the regulars, my sincere congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. And on behalf of the 1.4 million people of the state of Maine, I thank you for all your contributions to our state.
Also have some remarks this afternoon from Senator Angus King. I'd like to invite John back to the podium to read some of those this afternoon.
Thank you, Brian. Dear friends, I am proud to join Volunteer Maine and our state service community in celebrating the extraordinary spirit of volunteerism that defines Maine since 1987. The Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism have recognized the essential role citizen volunteers play in the success and vitality of communities across our state. And this year's honorees continue that proud tradition. Volunteers are the hidden strength behind Maine's resilience. They understand the challenge facing their communities, stepping forward with solutions and generosity, give their time and talent to those to see those solutions through. This commitment to service not only strengthens communities today, but also inspires others to take part in civic life and follow their example. Thank you for your compassion, dedication, and service. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. I wish you many more years of continued success. Best regards, Angus S. King, Jr., United States Senator.
Our thanks to Senator Angus King. Is Maris McGregor here today? Hello, Maris. We would like to invite Maris up from Congressman Jared Golden's office this afternoon. I apologize for not meeting you beforehand.
I'm just trying to put myself out. Hi, can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I was told at a veterans event recently that no one could hear me, so that's not helpful. I am a constituent service representative at the Lewiston office for Congressman Golden. So actually, I don't have anything to do with the policy. I am a caseworker, the easiest way to say it. So I serve our constituency, so it's an honor to be here in place of Congressman Golden. Congressman Golden had these remarks today. On behalf of Congressman Golden, I'm pleased to be here today to celebrate the recipients of this year's Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism. The Congressman is a firm believer in the spirit of service that undoubtedly motivates the volunteers we celebrate today. Mainers believe in supporting one another, and while we're here to recognize some exemplary volunteers, Congressman Golden also knows that you don't do it for the recognition. You do it for the sake of your communities, your state, and the causes that you move to service. Your work is critical to the growth and prosperity of the people and programs you serve. While each of you will have different roles, you all have chosen to serve because you know your actions will make a difference. This work does not go unnoticed, as it improves the lives of our friends, our families, and our neighbors. So please let me share Congressman Golden's heartfelt congratulations and his gratitude for the time and energy you have dedicated to others. Thank you for the vital role you play in making our state better every day.
Our thanks to Maris for joining us and the Congressman for his comments this afternoon as well. All right, you're going to see a lot of John this afternoon. We're going to bring John back to the podium to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Brian. The Commission and Maine Volunteer Foundation are very excited to have General Diane Dunn join today's celebration. She assumed the duties as Adjutant General of the Maine National Guard in 2024 and serves also as Commissioner for Maine's Department of Defense, Veterans, and Emergency Management. As Commissioner, General Dunn manages the work of Maine's Army and Air National Guard, Maine's Bureau of Veterans Services, and Maine Emergency Management. General Dunn is a 1988 graduate of Houghton University and earned her commission through the St. Bonaventure University Army ROTC program. She joined the Maine Army National Guard in 1988 and served in various assignments as a transitional guardsman. In 1997, Dunn transitioned to active guard and reserve status. In 2002, she was assigned as an assistant professor of military science at the University of Maine. In 2000, Major General Dunn deployed to Kandahar, Afghanistan as commander 286th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion and later served as brigadier commander of the 120th Regional Support Group in Maine Army National Guard Chief of Staff and as the Assistant Adjutant General, Army. Major General Dunn, as someone who has committed your life to service, we are grateful to you as you join us in honoring those who serve in their hometowns. We look forward to hearing from your thoughts.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Department of Defense Veterans and Emergency Management. I just want to give a disclaimer. I wasn't inappropriately texting anyone. I was working with our facilities guys to get the AC turned on. So hopefully you understand that, and hopefully we'll get it a little bit cooler in here for you all. So please, I beg your forgiveness for multitasking while sitting in the front. But I want to welcome you all, and thank you, John, for those kind words, and want to thank the Volunteer Maine, the Maine Volunteer Foundation, the Planning Committee, today's sponsors, and everyone who is here and made this celebration possible. It's a privilege to be here on behalf of the Governor and to join you all in recognizing truly extraordinary Mainers. I want to welcome the award recipients, the roll of honor, honorees, families, friends, our volunteer leaders, nonprofit partners, our business partners, and community members. As we gather here today, this room represents something more very powerful, the spirit of service that binds us all together in a community of Mainers. As the Adjutant General for the Maine National Guard and the Commissioner for the Department of Defense, Veterans and Emergency Management, I have the honor of working every day with people who understand service. Our soldiers, our airmen, our veterans, all of our emergency responders, public servants, community partners, all share a common commitment. When Maine people need help, we show up. But today is an important reminder that service doesn't only happen in uniform. It happens in hospital rooms, food pantries, schools, town offices, churches, shelters, around kitchen tables, and where neighbors quietly help neighbors. That is what we are here to celebrate. Volunteers are central to what we honor. Long before a storm, a flood, or public health emergency or personal crisis, volunteers are already building their networks to make our communities stronger. They check on their neighbors, they deliver meals, they mentor young people, they comfort families, they restore dignity, and they serve veterans. They protect natural spaces, and they help people through the most difficult moments. That work may not always make the headlines, but it changes lives. Today's honorees remind us that Maine's greatest strength is the people. Strong communities do not happen by accident. They are built by our communities. To the families, friends, organizations who support these volunteers, thank you as well. Service is never done alone. It's a deep honor to help present these awards today on behalf of Governor Mills and on behalf of a grateful state. Congratulations to all today's recipients and honorees, and thank you for what you have done. Thank you for what you continue to do, and thank you for showing us the very best of Maine. Thank you.
Major General Dunn, thank you, appreciate that, and thank you for the multitasking also. The job is never done in that role, that's for sure. We're gonna invite a few people to come further up on the stage. Luke, can you raise your hand for a second? This is Luke Shorty. If he had a business card that could fit all of his titles, it would be enormous, so I'll go through some of them right now. Luke is the Executive Director of Strategic Initiatives at Thomas College, Volunteer Maine Commissioner, and the Chair of the Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism Planning Committee. That's why he needs a big business card. All right, he is going to join us on the stage to assist John and Major General Dunn in presenting our Adult Competitive Awards this afternoon. Going to walk through how we're going to do this logistically. Obviously, this is an anticipated one, the Adult Competitive Awards, for 5 categories for honorees who are coming up to the stage to receive the award. We're going to ask you to use the stairs over there, your left. Come up, receive your award. We'll take 2 photographs with our good friend in the front right here. And then you can go back to your seats, of course. For friends and family is here as well. Also taking photos in the lobby. So you're welcome to just enjoy the moment and not need to rush up and take photos as well. But just know that that option is there as well. Hopefully you had some photos taken in the front. So we'll begin with the next portion of our presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Are you ready for the awards? Are you ready for the awards? Okay. The first award we'll be presenting is the Maine Volunteer of the Year, which recognizes an individual who has committed significant time and effort to improving the life of individuals or the community through volunteer service. I know, it's very exciting. Over the years, this person consistently stepped up and pitched in whenever help was needed. Our winner this year of the Maine Volunteer of the Year Award is Behnke. Anne has dedicated over 40 years to providing steady and compassionate hospice care through Andwell Health Partners, contributing around 300 hours each year, and service not only tirelessly provides patient companionship, but bereavement support for families. Her willingness to take deeply challenging assignments, the ability to provide comfort in moments of profound vulnerability, guidance and mentorship for other volunteers, and positive energy strengthening the volunteer program are a true embodiment of selfless service. Please join me in congratulating Anne Behnke, the 2026 Maine Volunteer of the Year. Next up, we have the winner of the Outstanding Volunteer Team Award, which recognizes a team of volunteers, families, employees, friends, club or association members who committed significant time and effort to improving the life of individuals or the community through volunteer service. For over 20 years, a dedicated group of 6 volunteers, known as the Regulars, has quietly transformed lives across Lincoln County through their twice-weekly, year-round commitment to helping neighbors remain safe, warm, and dry in their homes. Since partnering with CHIP Incorporated in 2017, the regulars have consistently provided essential home repairs for more than 150 households and eased the anxiety of families seeking assistance with their warmth, skill, and respect. One Waldoboro resident noted that their generosity required no qualification or expectation. It was just the love thy neighbor rule, leaving a lasting impression of kindness and community spirit to all those they interact with. We are honored to welcome the regulars to the stage to accept the 2026 Outstanding Volunteer Team Award. Will the regulars please come forward? Next, we're going to move now to recognize the winners for Outstanding Nonprofit Volunteer Program, which recognizes a volunteer program operated by a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, a school, a municipality, or other unit of government which has made significant changes and improvements in challenges or problems faced by the community. Our 2026 winner is Finding Our Smiles, a volunteer program of finding our voices. They provide comprehensive and life-changing dental care to domestic abuse survivors that has a profound impact on the survivors' ability to return to work, advance in their education and careers, restore their health, and re-engage with their lives. Since 2022, approximately 40 volunteers, including 38 dental providers across 10 Maine counties, have restored or are in the process of restoring the smiles, confidence, and overall health of 55 survivors, contributing an estimated $370,000 in donated care. Finding Our Smiles is the only program of its kind in the United States that provides pro bono dental treatment and addresses both physical damage and the often overlooked effects of emotional abuse. Through the dedication and compassion of its volunteer providers, Finding Our Smiles demonstrates how specialized volunteer service can restore not only oral health, but dignity, confidence, and a renewed sense of possibility. Please, let's give a warm welcome to the representatives of Finding Our Smile as they come forward to accept the 2026 Outstanding Nonprofit Volunteer Program Award. Please welcome them to the stage. Our next award for Outstanding Business Volunteer Program recognizes an employer that maintains a formal workplace volunteer program and a corporate culture that inspires and equips employees to volunteer and make an impact in their communities. Charitable donations and fundraising are not considered a volunteer activity for the purposes of this award, so it's really the impact that their employees are doing in their communities. The winner of this year's Outstanding Business Volunteer Program is Androscoggin Bank. As one of only a few certified B Corp banks in the United States, Androscoggin Bank has built a culture where volunteerism is central to its mission and commitment of creating lasting community impact. Employees receive 24 hours of paid volunteer time annually, and the bank organizes initiatives such as Greater Giving Days to encourage and empower staff to serve in meaningful, intentional ways across Maine. Over time, the commitment to service has led to significant growth in impact, with employees contributing 5,824 hours in 2025, supporting an estimated 40,000 individuals through partnerships with 179 nonprofit organizations. Through sustained service, leadership, and compassion, Androscoggin Bank's volunteer team exemplifies the power of business to build safer, stronger, and more connected communities. Please join me in recognizing Androscoggin Bank as they come up to receive the 2026 Outstanding Business Volunteer Program Award. Last but not least, to round out this category of our competitive awards, is our Outstanding Service Enterprise Recognition Award. It recognizes a Maine public or nonprofit organization that transformed its culture and operation into a certified service enterprise, and now strategically engages volunteers in leadership and other skilled volunteer roles so that the greater organizational efficiency and expanded ability to achieve its mission is at peak performance. This year, Maine Audubon achieved a Service Enterprise Certification, which is a nationally recognized award. It's a recognition that is held to a high standard throughout the entire nation. It's no small task. It awards these organizations that strategically leverage the skills and talent of volunteers at all levels of their work. This designation places Maine Audubon among the top performing nonprofits in the country, who operates with a culture of volunteerism deeply woven into their strategic planning, operations, and mission delivery. In order to attain certification, Maine Audubon expanded systems for volunteer data tracking and reporting, invested in new ways to engage volunteers, and cultivated sustainable relationships with schools, cultural organizations, and workforce development groups. Their commitment to collaboration, continuous improvement, and truly integrating volunteers into their mission has positioned this organization as a leader in effective volunteer engagement. Please join me in celebrating this not-so-small task for Maine Audubon's incredible achievement as they come up to receive the award for 2026 Outstanding Service Enterprise. Now, before we call the adult roll of honor, I would like to take a second and really acknowledge, with gratitude and with real kind of esteem and pleasure, our hosts today, the Maine National Guard, and especially Major General Dunn. This space is a phenomenal space for us to gather. It's kind of like a camp dedicated to service. And so as the immediate past chair of Volunteer Maine's Commission for Community Service, and as chair of the task force that helped put this event together today, we just have a small token of thanks for Major General Dunn and a challenge coin from AmeriCorps that we'd like to present to her and thank Maine National Guards for their hospitality and just their support of Volunteer Maine and what we do in our communities. Now we turn to the reading of the Maine Adult Roll of Honor. And this Roll of Honor celebrates individuals who have given their time and talent to serve others. The distinction is awarded to adults who have contributed over 500 hours of volunteer service in a year. Right? That's around 10 hours a week. Their dedication strengthens our communities, uplifts those in need, and reminds us all of the power of steady, selfless commitment. Each person recognized today has made an impact through their hours of hard work, compassion, and generosity. As we call your names, please stand and remain standing so that we may recognize you. We ask that the audience hold the applause until all the honorees have been called. And here to call the adult Roll of Honor is Nicole Genzura, who is a representative of our event sponsor, First National Bank. Nicole, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Luke. Good afternoon. Okay, Barbara Bach, Dr. Earl Lord, Carol Reichert, Corinne Redman, Fran Seeley, Joan Kenny, Karen Thorpe, Lynn Dolliff, Max Deach, Michelle Leclerc, Nathaniel Palmer, Nico Adrioli, Paige McNamara, Pamela Barker, Patricia Fitzgerald, Patricia Moran, Richie Dow, Sarah Ward, Shirley McAfee Hardy, Stephanie Carter, Susan Lermond, Thomas Dobson, Travis Cunningham, and William Savage. Thank you all.
All right, to kick off the next half of our presentation, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Brittany Glexner Hyatt, the Executive Director of Volunteer Maine.
So nice to have you here again, a second year in a row. Thank you for doing this. Hi everybody, my name is Britt. I'm the Executive Director of Volunteer Maine. This is my second time being here, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be in this room. There is no other place I'd rather be right now. This is a place of extraordinary energy, power, and purpose. So it's a privilege to be here with you. Thanks again to all who made this happen. I also want to extend a particular thank you to Lucy Martin, who has really worked tirelessly, including having to sit up here and smile for 2 hours. Thank you, Lucy. So this annual event is a very special one for Maine. It allows us to pause and convene in community to acknowledge the power of volunteerism. I'm a relatively new Mainer, and I have to say I am really inspired by our spirit of volunteerism. Before I came here to Maine, my career before was working mostly in countries devastated by war to support very local communities find a pathway back to peace and stability. I spent quite a bit of time working in Yemen and Ethiopia, and despite extraordinary trials, those communities stood by each other. They innovated, and they found strength in working together to rebuild. This spirit of volunteerism, this spirit of community engagement is a universal value. It's also an American tradition. We have a long tradition here in this country of giving of one's precious time. And more nowadays, that time, that is really in limited numbers. And the acts of giving of our time weave together our social fabric. They also are the foundation of our governance systems. And America was built very much by neighbors helping neighbors. And in that way, volunteerism is one of our oldest traditions. You know, Maine has some of the highest rates of volunteerism nationally. I'm sure that you all have heard that. I think that what I have seen over the past year being executive director of Volunteer Maine and getting to visit different organizations in parts of the state is that we have very much earned that reputation. And you know, if we have some of the highest rates of volunteerism in the entire country, what that means is that when I look out at this room, I'm looking at some of the most dedicated volunteers in America. So this work is very rewarding, but it's not always easy. Some of the work that you all are doing are with communities that are underprivileged, that are going through trauma. Many people who come to volunteerism themselves have even experienced trauma and haven't had space to deal with that. We're dealing with it together. I want to acknowledge that because it's become even more of a difficult space to work in. And in many parts of our state, the needs are very much increasing. So right now, the stress on volunteers is pretty huge because you're needed more than ever. And you know, switching gears in a moment, we're going to be recognizing our youth volunteers. And that's particularly important and exciting for us here in Volunteer Maine, and part of the reason we waited to do it until last. For the youth in the room, we just want to say to you that perhaps you don't think of yourself as role models yet, but you very much are. Not only to the peers in your classrooms, but also to your community, to the elders in your community, to the young people. My 10-year-old son Harris is here today, and I see some other siblings and kids in the room as well, and they're looking to you for your example. So thank you for doing that. You're showing what active citizenship actually looks like. And you figured out something very early that sometimes takes people a lifetime to learn. And that's that public good requires public participation. And that's more critical now more than ever. You're not waiting, you're very much getting things done for Maine. So thank you, keep that spirit alive. And with this, we're going to move forward and recognize our Youth Honoree of the Year. So I'm going to hand it back to Luke. Thank you.
Great remarks, Britt. Thank you. And will Major General Dunn and John return up here to the podium to help us recognize our Young Maine Volunteer of the Year. So our Youth Competitive Award, which is the Young Maine Volunteer of the Year Award, it recognizes a person 20 years old or younger who, through volunteer service, has demonstrated a strong commitment to improving the life of individuals or the community, and by example, shows the meaning of active citizenship. So for 9 years, Nellie Young has exemplified the qualities of this award: ambition, compassion, and an unwavering dedication to service that inspires all she encounters. Contributing a range of 120 to 160 hours annually, Nellie's volunteer journey began in the 3rd grade with the Rotary Club of Kittery, and now innovates, organizes, and executes initiatives that benefit hundreds of people in her community. Not only are her efforts impactful locally, but she has spearheaded international service projects in Peru, supporting nurseries and culinary schools. Her dedication, energy, and ambition touches both immediate needs and long-term community enrichment that makes a profound difference in the community and the lives of those around her. Please join me in celebrating Nellie Young as she comes forward to accept the 2026 Young Maine Volunteer of the Year Award. Nellie, please come on. And we may return to our seats while we welcome back the host with the most, Mr. Brian Yakoto. Come on down.
Back and forth, back and forth. That's good for the steps. I like it. Congratulations. You're who we need and rely on down the road. So thank you for what you're doing so early in your life and not waiting decades to figure out the value of what you're doing. Now I've totally lost track of where we are. Okay, here we are. Yes, she's already ready. We're going to invite Britt back up, and I just wanted to comment. She just spoke. You just heard her speak. As native Mainers, we can be a little hesitant to welcome outsiders in. I think it's safe to say we are so fortunate to have you in Maine doing the work you're doing, even though you're from away. We're very thankful. So we will invite Britt back up to the stage to recognize the incredible service and dedication of Maine's youth volunteers, as we're talking about. Have already made a meaningful impact in their communities, giving over 50 hours of service in just 1 year. Your energy, compassion, leadership are shaping Maine's future, and we are proud to celebrate each of you. So we want to recognize the outstanding young volunteers who have earned a place in the Maine Youth Roll of Honor. Once again, as Britt will call your names, we ask you to stand where you are so that everybody can see who you are and recognize you. We can celebrate you together. We would kindly ask you to hold your applause until we go through the entire list. But this is going to be some good faces to see. So Britt, come back up.
Okay, great. And we should also note, these lists, the names we are reading off are those who are present in the room that we're aware of. There are many more who are on this list that are on that spread. And by the way, if for some reason you were here and we did not get that we didn't call your name, stand up please and we'll have you say your name, just in case we missed anybody. Okay, Caroline Hanscom, Daisy Livingston, David Mubiala, Evelyn Hanscom, Kelsey Glynn, Catherine White, Kendall Hayer, Lily Burns, Ramona Toppin, Riley Ciano, Sophia Lopez, Tessa Couture. Is there anybody we missed? Okay. And I do have to say, there are many more of us who are coming from away, Brian. Which may be a topic that we're actually looking at when we talk about volunteerism and service. Not only the needs of those folks who are coming to the state under certain circumstances, but also the talents that folks bring. And I have to say that I have felt incredibly welcome, and to be able to find a place to give back and serve is really meaningful. So thank you to everybody who has welcomed me, and I'm sure I speak for other New Mainers when I say it's the best place to come and be a new person. So thank you. With that, I'm going to hand it back over to Brian. You're going to get your steps in and for our concluding remarks.
Thank you again to our young volunteers for what you're doing. As we said before, you're who's next, you're who we need, and hopefully in 40 years, you'll be back here with us again, continuing to celebrate your work. Just a quick moment to reflect on today a little bit, and then we'll cut you loose and see if it's raining out yet. So from those who have dedicated decades to those just beginning their journeys in volunteerism, today we got to see together the very best of Maine's spirit. Generosity, resilience, leadership, and perhaps most importantly, hope. Every hour given, every person served, every project led, whether small or large, builds stronger communities and a better future for everybody in our state. To today's honorees, thank you for the difference that you make every day and for reminding us that service is not just what we do, it is part of who we are as people and community. The Foundation and the Commission want to once again extend deep appreciation to the organizing committee, our sponsors, our event volunteers from United Ways, Volunteer Maine's Call for Volunteers on Serve Maine, and Commission staff and family. None of this would happen without all the dedication from those people as well. A reminder, photo opportunities will continue in the lobby with our good friend. You can see those there, and feel free to socialize a little, meet fellow volunteers, eat some of the wonderful Maine Pine Catering's hors d'oeuvres, and take photos. Congratulations once again for what you do, and thank you for what you do to keep our state so special in so many unique ways. Enjoy your afternoon.